Oh hey, Jill here, and you're listening to Organized Chaos with Jill. I'm your host and mom of 3, and this is the show where we chat all the mom things and then some. So grab your coffee or whatever it is that gets you through the day, and let's get to it. I'm here, I promise. I know it did not go unnoticed that I have been MIA for the last couple weeks. I came in like guns blazing, full swing, so amped up on the 1st. I was so pumped that it was the 1st of the year. It was the same day our podcast releases episodes, and I just felt like the stars were aligned, and I was in go mode. And then it was like halt. But I promise it wasn't halt in real life, but I definitely took the podcast took a back burner. And in hindsight, the reason it took a back burner is because I was taking care of some things at the house. But when I'm looking back on it now, I'm like, that's part of why I started this podcast, right? Like to share mom life and house life and housework and the juggling act and all that. And I kind of had a missed opportunity. So I will be sharing in upcoming episodes some tips and tricks and, where I was the last few weeks in terms of what I was doing around here, because again, that's part of why I started this podcast. So I do apologize for not being here, but I'm here now. I promise. Our Monday mini-sodes will pick up again next Monday. And then here we are this week releasing our Thursday episodes. There is still a lot, the wheels are still turning in my head. I'm so excited for what 2026 is going to bring for Organized Chaos. I have a good feeling. I just I don't even know. I don't have words. No excuses. So I do apologize for being MIA. That being said, I wanted to take an opportunity to go back to the basics. And the reason I'm saying that is because as we were coming into 2026 and I was thinking about this podcast and the goals I have and where I want to see it grow, I also was looking back at past episodes and things like that. And I felt like, maybe there's a new year. We've got a new audience. I know that I have shared my podcast, with people that I've met recently. And so I'm looking at the new year as almost like a new opportunity, a fresh start, kind of how we all feel about things in life. So I'm going to take it back to the basics this week, and I'm going to kind of re-record episode 1. Now, I'm not going to just play episode 1 for you. You can go back and listen to the very first episode if you wish, but I wanted to kind of re-record it and just to share a little bit about our day-to-day routine, what works for us, and share some tips and tricks that I've kind of figured out along the way. And maybe some of them will work for you. I hope so. That's kind of my goal here. But yeah, so that's where we're at today. So if you haven't listened in the very beginning, that's totally okay. If you have already listened to episode 1, then this is just kind of like a refresher or throwing in some tips and tricks maybe you forgot from that first episode. So that's where we're going today. As most of you know, I think if you've already been listening to this podcast, we are a single car family. So our day to day, really from the beginning, starts with getting up, getting ready to take my husband to work. That way I have the car with the kids and to take them to activities and whatnot. So we got up in the morning, and I'm sure like most of you, it's like coffee first, right? Like first you drink the coffee, then you do the things. But I get up, I have my coffee. The kids are usually up when I get up, and despite our alarm clock, the kids usually have a different time in mind. These last few days, Anna and William have been in this 4:15, 4:30 in the morning mindset. Not too happy, but that means that I'm getting up as well. But our morning routine is not starting full-fledged at that moment. It's kind of a quiet chaos in the morning, or I'll turn on a quieter TV show and let them kind of just play or watch TV while I'm still kind of waking up, right? But in the morning, I have some must-dos, and this is just to help me check off some things off my list, but also just makes me feel better and feel a little bit accomplished before the full-blown chaos of the day begins. So one thing that I really focus on is laundry. If you know me, I love laundry. Weird, I know. But I have found, especially if I'm just bringing my husband to work and then coming right back, or like doing one quick errand and coming back, it is so much easier to throw a load in the wash before I even leave the house, because then it's already like that chore has like been checked off, right? And I feel like laundry is something, especially as a mom, that we always feel like it's just never ending. So if you can start a cycle first thing before you leave the house, it's like already a little like check mark on your to-do list. And then when we come back, I throw it in the dryer. You don't really have to think about that task, other than putting it away later on. But that's the easy part in my mind. So that's like one of my very first must-dos. Another thing that I really, really stress doing is the dishes. And this is because for me at night, I don't want to add more tasks at the end of the day when all I want to do is just like relax, go to bed, the kids are asleep. I don't want to have to worry about cleaning up the dishes, cleaning up the kitchen. So for us, it's the dishes can wait till the morning. So as I'm making the coffee while the Keurig is running, I'm either unloading the dishwasher if it, did get run the night before, or I'm loading it, and then I just throw my coffee mug in and press it. And again, one less thing too. The dishwasher is loaded and started before I'm even leaving the house for the day. And then it's clean when you get back. You can empty it later in the day if you have time, but it's one chore that you don't have to think about. Sometimes I will leave some stuff in the sink that's like a hand wash, or if a pan is soaking, I won't do that first thing in the morning, but that's so easy in my opinion compared to like overflowing dishes, right? So right then and there, 2 things of my chore list have been like tackled: laundry, dishes. We haven't even left the house yet, and the morning routine is really just beginning. So like I said, we're getting ready to take my husband to work. I do try to get the kids dressed that early, every day, but some mornings it's a pajama day, and that's just how we roll. If we're having a lazy morning, if it's kind of crappy weather, if sometimes the kids just are like, I want to stay in my pajamas, and if I know we're not doing anything else other than driving my husband to work, you pick your battles, right? So I load them up in their pajamas, and that's fine. And then we take my husband to work. We're leaving the house before 7 a.m. And I know that's like crazy early, especially with 3 kids. But whatever time of day you're leaving in the morning, or whatever your morning looks like, you can fit some of these little tips and tricks in throughout. Or I hope you can. Maybe this will help you tackle some of those chores, like I said. And then, so we bring my husband to work. Sometimes we get breakfast. We go to the bagel place, as my kids call it, or the donut shop, which is Dunkin' if you're around here. And then, sometimes, like I said, we're coming right back here so I can throw the clothes in the dryer or whatever, or just take care of stuff around the house. There are times that after driving my husband to work, we do our errands, whether it be the grocery store or Costco, things like that. I find it easier that once I'm out to just stay out, in the sense. Like if I know I have to go to the store and whatnot, I'd rather just go first thing in the morning. The stores are quieter, but if you've got kids, even 1 kid, let alone 3 kids, getting them in and out of a car seat or in and out of the car and the store, it's a lot. So for me, I'd rather just like bite the bullet, take them, do it all at once, and then we can come home and they can kind of relax for the day. And then, once our errands are done, all that fun stuff, and we're coming back home, of course, we're unloading the car, we're getting them situated, having lunch, things like that. And when I'm home, I'm switching up things. So if I did do a load of laundry, I'm switching it into the dryer, or I'm taking it out of the dryer to, fold it and get it put away. Obviously, with young kids, it can be hard to get that done right away. So sometimes, it's pulling the clothes out of the dryer, leaving them in the basket, and then maybe I'll fold it when the baby's napping and the boys are kind of having some quiet time, wherever I can find those pockets of time to do those little things. And then, also at home, and I've shared this in some other episodes if you want to go back and listen if you haven't already, or maybe you remember, getting the kids involved in things that I do around the house. I think it's a good learning thing. It's not like, I'm not like child labor. I let my kids play, but they love the Swiffer. So doing little chores with them helps get some stuff done around the house, but also, you're teaching them valuable life skills and whatnot as well. So yeah. So we're home, we're doing our thing, we dabble in some homeschooling stuff. There will be a full episode on homeschooling as well coming up in this year. So I won't go into it too much now, but we'll do a little bit of learning. I like to do, James, especially our oldest, has really been into crafts. So we try to do some crafts around the house or like make little things, whatever, just to take some time, have some fun and whatnot. I won't bore you with everything we do all day, but some days we do have activities. Right now, both boys are in swim, so that's something that we do. Currently, their play group is like closed for the season, off for the season, with the holidays and whatnot, and then the winter, January weather can be so unexpected around us, so it's not going on right now, but come February it picks up. We do local play groups. When weather's nice, we try to get to the playground, things like that. So really, something that I have talked about many times in different episodes, and I'm going to reiterate here, is if you're trying to think of things to do around the house, if you're a stay-at-home mom, you've got littles, check out local places. My husband actually found the play group that we are a part of online on a whim, but definitely look online, see what's around. There's so many free activities too, so it's not even like you have to break the bank to have your kids doing all sorts of things. It gets us out of the house. It has, gets the kids engaged with other kids, having fun, things like that. So definitely check out local areas around you, libraries, different communities. Go on Facebook. I know there's 1.5 million mom groups that talk about different things. And then I think, I've actually never used the app, but I keep hearing about it. So maybe I'll have to check it out. It's Kangaroo. I think that's it. Where they talk about different activities or things in the area to do with kids and the good age groups that they're for and whatnot. So I think it's Kangaroo. I could be totally wrong. If I'm wrong, comment. Or if I'm right, comment. Let me know. Because I know that that's something that you can find local things to do with the kids, or even within a certain radius, I guess. Sorry, went off a little there. Anyway, so our day-to-day is that. And then, our evenings are a little bit less structured. And the reason I say that is because there are some nights that my husband might work overtime. There are some days he's out at regular time. So his, end of day kind of dictates how our evening goes. If he happens to be working later, I'm feeding the kids before I pick him up, because 9 times out of 10, they will fall asleep when I'm picking them, when I'm on my way to pick him up. So if that's the case, again, if it's a late night for him, I feed the kids, I give them the bath, put, fresh pajamas on them, and then we go and pick up my husband. So that way, if they do fall asleep, I don't have to worry about changing their clothes again. They're already bathed, they're fed. And I'm very fortunate that our kids transition from the car to the bed very easily, which makes that little nighttime routine better. On earlier nights, we're picking up my husband and then coming home. We don't always eat at the same time as the kids, but then at that point, I will feed the kids, do the bath time, things like that. And then the night goes a little bit differently. We don't have a set structured bedtime. I would say, I know people ask and I'm it varies again because of the work schedule. But when we are home, I would say 7-ish they get into bed. A routine that we've kind of started recently that we hadn't done actually when I released the very first episode is after bath time, the boys will like to watch a movie. So we have a TV in their room. Not that I'm condoning always having the TV on and whatnot, but we do have a TV in their bedroom. It's not on during the day really at all. But at night, sometimes after bath time, if I can tell they're not ready to fall asleep, but also my husband and I want some one-on-one time, they'll take a bath, go in the room, they'll pick a movie for the night, and then they fall asleep watching the movie. And so that's kind of their routine. I usually set the sleep timer on the TV so I don't even have to think about going in there later. And then with Anna, sometimes it does take a little bit still to get her down, but I try to, once they're in with the movie, I'll try to kind of wind her down as well and get her into bed. And she's in a different room with them, so it's not like the TV will bother her, because I will say that Anna is very much, if there's stuff going on, she does not want to miss it. She wants to be where the action is. So if there was the TV on, she'd be wide awake watching it with them, unless she was super, super exhausted. So right now, that's kind of our nighttime routine. It works for us. We do stories, throughout the day. So sometimes if they wake up and they're the movies are over and they're just like waking up in the middle of the night, I'll read a story to help calm them and bring them back, to bed if they do wake up. But they're pretty good once they fall asleep for the night. So thankfully, that's good. So that's kind of our evening routine. And then, we get up the next day and start all over again. So as I mentioned, I'm sharing what our day-to-day is and works for us. But just to recap some of those must-dos with starting a load of laundry, starting the dishwasher, and getting them before you even step foot out of the house in the morning is huge, because your day really is just starting and you've already been able to tackle 2 things off your list. I have a third, and I don't call it a must do, but it's like a must try to do. So I'm going to add that here, and that's make the bed. I know it sounds like such a simple thing, and I do try to do it before I leave the house in the morning, but it doesn't always happen. But I just feel like sometimes it's so much I don't know. There's something that my bedroom could be a disaster, but if my bed is made, it just feels like the room is clean. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. So it's a try to do, but it's definitely something that if I don't do it before I leave, it's one of the first things I do when I get back, because I love going to bed into a made bed at night. And I also just think it kind of sets the tone for the room, having a made bed. So those are my 3 little tips, tricks, things for you. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Like I said, maybe for some of you, this was just a refresher if you've already listened to episode 1, but I just wanted to kind of take it back to the basics as we're starting off this new year. Upcoming episodes, I don't know what just happened there. In upcoming episodes, I will share kind of what's been going on these last few weeks. Again, I apologize for missing you guys. So that's that. I'm happy to be back. I hope you're happy to have me back. And like I said, Monday minisodes will be starting up again on Monday. So I will catch you then. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your week. And bye. Be sure to follow, and share this podcast. And if you aren't already doing so, follow us on Instagram at Organized Chaos with Jill. We'll have all the latest updates, upcoming episodes, and more. Have a good day.
The best is yet to come.